Hi, my name is Jay Oza, and I help people who have to give high stakes or high opportunity speeches. I was listening to this podcast recently. The podcast is called Road to TED, where these two hosts interview people who are either getting ready to give a TED speech or have already given a TEDx or a TED speech. In one episode, they had this person by the name of Bryan Kramer who had given a TED speech. And they asked him what was the most important tip that he received during the countless number of coaching sessions that he had with TED speaking coaches. And he said the most important advice that he got from them was to begin with the end. Now, this sounds pretty straightforward, but he said that was the most important tip. They're really particular of that. They want you to get to your end right up front, maybe in the first 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. Get to the end in the beginning. I like to think of this as the NASCAR strategy, that car racing that you see in NASCAR. Do you know in NASCAR, their most important event is in the beginning, the Daytona 500. I have no idea when the NASCAR season ends. I don't even know when it ends. I think it's in November sometime, but I have never paid any attention to any of the races after the first one. NASCAR's figured this out, that if you want to start with the bang, and they do it well. Daytona 500. And then there is this other way of looking at it, which is NFL. NFL does just the opposite. They end their season with the big event, the Super Bowl. Now, let's face it, Super Bowl obviously will draw the attention whether you like football or not. You would think that NASCAR gets the second largest audience. And you always think of NASCAR as this niche audience that people, like in the South, they like it. But they get the second largest audience, which was kind of surprising to me. And I think it has to do with that they start their biggest event first. So this is what we all should think about when we are giving our speeches. What is the end that we want? And bring it in the beginning. Let them know, let the people know right away that this is where I want you to go. It's no different than when you go to a financial advisor and they say, okay, what is the amount that you want to retire with? Let's say you're in your 20s or 30s. And you say, well, I like to retire at the age of 65, let's say. And I like to have at least $3 million so that I can then live off that. So that's the end. They have to take that and bring it right in the beginning. Because that means that you got to start saving a certain amount of money that'll earn some return, 8%, 10%, so that if you keep saving at that rate, maybe you want to save for 10 years, 15 years. So you have all these things to work with once you know what the end is. If you don't know what the end is, you have no idea how much to save. You're just going to save less, save more, and not have any idea. You may not end up with the money you're looking for. So this idea about beginning with the end applies to not only speeches, it applies to life, finance. Otherwise, you're not going to have a good retirement if you don't know how much money you want to retire with. So in a speech, it's the same thing. If you know how the speech is going to be received, you got to bring that right in the beginning so people know exactly what the end is going to be, because you already set it up right in the beginning. So let me know what you think, whether you agree, whether you should begin with the end in your speech or not. Are you a NASCAR person or a Super Bowl? Which one are you? I prefer NASCAR. That's, from a speech perspective, NASCAR. Let me know what you think. And thank you for watching.